Hello there. Today I was skimming through Netflix and saw Chicken Run, Dawn of the Nugget, and decided to watch it. I saw the original when I was a kid and it kind of reminded me of Wallace and Gromit in a way, so I decided to give it a chance. Just as a heads up, this film is a sequel. It's a fantasy adventure claymation that follows a family of chickens that break into a factory farm in an attempt to rescue the chickens inside. The story is written by Carrie Kirkpatrick and John O'Farrell and adapted into a screenplay by them with the help of Rachel Tunnard. It was directed by Sam Fell and stars Tandy Newton as Ginger, Zachary Levi as Rocky, and Bella Ramsey as their daughter Molly. The story follows several perspectives and tells the tale of Molly escaping home and heading off to explore the Funland farm. When her parents discover her missing, they gather a group of friends together and go after her. It's an adventure tale with a lot of different themes and messages swirling around in the background. It explores the idea of factory farming from a sentient chicken's perspective, includes a lot of humor and visual gags, and ends with a huge prison escape with lots of visual fanfare. The screen time focuses on three groups: Molly, her parents and their friends, and the villains of the story, Dr. Fry and Mrs. Tweedy. Molly is an energetic young chicken who wants to see the world and try everything that it has to offer. When she gets the freedom she wants, she finds it isn't all that she had hoped. Ginger and Rocky are the overprotective parents of Molly and the two action chickens of the group. They're quick to act and brave in the face of danger. Ginger is the leader of the group and the one everyone relies on for courage. Rocky is a bit of a dummy, but he has a playful and joyous heart. Their friends are chickens and two rats with one-note personalities that serve as an ensemble cast. They back up their friends and provide a good bit of humor and flavor to the story. For villains, you have a new character, Dr. Fry, a bumbling moron that invented the best way to prepare chicken, the Nugget. He's married to Mrs. Tweedy and follows her every command to the best of his ability. Mrs. Tweedy is the returning villain and is reminiscent of Cruella de Vil. She hates animals with a passion, especially chickens, and wants revenge for the events of the first film. She's comically evil and the brains of the operation. The visual journey is made out of clay and stop-motion animation and looks like a mix between real life and a cartoon. The movement is realistic looking, and they have a ton of visually distinct locations for the characters to run around in. Each of the characters has a slightly cartoonish look to them, but the environments behind them are fairly down to earth and incredibly detailed. They use that to tell a moving tale about chickens and their plight for freedom. There's a lot of fantastical action, visual gags, and even a few aesthetically pleasing moments. Sound-wise, the film makes use of scored instrumentals with one or two original songs and one musical number toward the end. The music follows each moment closely and tries to bring out the fantastical nature of each. It's loud, accompanies just about every scene, and emphasizes the emotions throughout the story. The original songs were light dance songs that played over montages, and the musical number at the end is a dystopic moment. Okay, so how did they do? The writing is a bit fantastical and inconsistent in how it plays out, but it has likable characters that you can root for, a bunch of lessons you can take away from it, and the action and humor are exciting to watch. The story does have a lot of cliches in it, and it spreads the screen time around a little bit too much with a few too many characters. It ends up biting off more than it can chew, and so some of the characters are left a bit unfinished. Cast-wise, there are a lot of good performances in terms of delivering jokes and accessing emotions, but there aren't any standout performances. Each of the three leads does get to do a bit of emotional work, but not enough to make a big impact. The story as a whole is populated by cartoonish depictions of people with exaggerated reactions, and while they're done well, it's a bit one-note. Visually, the journey is easy to follow, always interesting to look at, and is filled with a lot of humor and action that are reminiscent of Saturday morning cartoons. The film as a whole is quite colorful and vibrant, and the sets are incredibly detailed and lavish. The big moments are a lot of fun, filled with energetic movement and action, and they make good use of the medium to create cartoonish effects with a kind of realistic basis to them. Sound-wise, the film makes excellent use of its soundtrack and brings out all kinds of emotions from the story. The song draws you into the moment and sweeps you up at their pace. They take you along for a fun and exciting ride while not detracting too heavily from the scenery. The songs are a bit generic to the fantasy genre as a whole, but the original songs and the musical number at the end go a long way to making up for that. The musical number was especially moving. The way the chickens are singing groggily as they march to their deaths was a fantastic image. Overall, Chicken Run, Dawn of the Nuggets does a good job of recreating the magic of the original film. It's a lot of fun, good for children, and has a ton of heart at the center of it. The claymation is well done, the soundtrack is quite moving, and the acting and writing are both decent. If you like animated adventure stories, give this one a go. As for a rating, I'd give this film a 7 out of 10. Remember, these are just my thoughts on the film. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Bye-bye!